Good morning, everyone. Today we'll discuss about Caldwell loop sinusotomy. It was first done by George Caldwell in the year 1893 and Henry Luke 1897. So this procedure was known as Caldwell loop sinusotomy. Coming to the indications: fungal sinusitis, multiple antral lesions, antral polyp, excision of tumor, closure of overantral fistula, removal of antral foreign body, antral revision procedures, surgical approach for transantral sphenoethmoidectomy, orbital decompression. Coming to the surgical procedure. The surgical procedure can be performed under local anesthesia or general anesthesia. A semilunar incision is placed in the buccal vestibule from canine to second molar. Mucoperiosteal flap is elevated till infraorbital ridge. A round bony cut is marked over the canine fossa using a round burr. The window is created and the bone is removed using ronger. The pus which is in the maxillary sinus is sucked away from the sinus and thorough irrigation is carried out. The inspection and removal of foreign body and the sinus can be done at this stage. The antral cavity packed with iodoform ribbon gauze. The incision is closed with 3-0 silk and the pack is removed on 5th day. So this is the diagram showing Caldwell loop procedure. You can see the placement of the incision right from the canine to the second molar. And you can see this reddish circle where the entry into the maxillary sinus is done, right above your canine, in the area of canine fossa. So this is the picture showing. The incision is placed from canine to second molar. The mucoperiosteal flap is raised. The marking is done on the anterior wall of maxilla in the canine fossa. These markings are joined, and with the bony ronger, the anterior wall of maxilla is removed above the canine fossa, and the entry into the maxillary sinus is gained. And thorough irrigation and removal of pus and foreign material is done, and finally closed with 3-0 silk. This is Caldwell loop sinusotomy. Coming to the complications of sinusotomy. Most frequent common complications are bleeding, the dental hypersensitivity, infraorbital neuralgia, osseous defect in the anterolateral wall of maxillary sinus, and chances of entrapment of inferior rectus muscle. Then next, coming to the Denker's approach. It is a modification of Caldwell loop surgery. Along with the Caldwell loop surgery, a slit of bone is removed from the anterior bony angle of the antrum right up to the lateral wall of the lateral nasal aperture to improve continuous, free, unimpeded drainage of sinus from nasal cavity and canine fossa. This is intranasal antrostomy. It is done to close overantral fistula and to remove tooth or root from the sinus. A small osteotome or gauze is pushed through the inferior meatus from the nose into the maxillary sinus. The iodoform gauze pack is grasped into beaks of big curved artery fossa and is passed through the opening and is pulled out into the nostril. A single knot at one end of the gauze will keep in nostril, and other end is used to pack the maxillary sinus after achieving hemostasis. This is intranasal antrostomy. It is done in the inferior meatus to facilitate drainage from the maxillary sinus. Next, coming to the functional endoscopic sinus surgery. It is also called as FES. The purpose of functional endoscopic sinus surgery is to restore normal paranasal air sinuses mucociliary function. Coming to the indications of functional endoscopic sinus surgery. First one is recurrent sinusitis with stenosis, chronic hyperplastic sinusitis with obstructive nasal polyps, chronic sinusitis with mucocele formation, Fungal sinusitis in patients with diabetes or immunocompromised status, neoplasms, orbital cellulitis or abscess, unresponsiveness to medical treatment. Coming to the surgical technique. It is performed under general anesthesia or local anesthesia. The patient is placed in supine position at 15 degrees reverse Trendelenburg position. The nose is additionally anesthetized with 4% cocaine soaked cotton pledgets placed in middle meatus. Additional injections are given at greater palatine foramen and middle meatus perimeter. Endoscopy of maxillary sinus is performed by canine fossa or through maxillary sinus antrostomy. All diseased mucous membrane and polyps, if in case are present, is removed. The overzealous removal of septa and normal appearing mucous membrane is not advocated. Coming to the maxillary sinus lift procedures. These are done for placement of bone graft material in between your alveolar ridge and your maxillary sinus lining for placement of implants. It is done in dissolved maxillary posterior ridges. Coming to the technique. The most common technique is the lateral window technique, which is a modification of Caldwell technique. The common blocks are posterior supraulnar block is given, anterior supraulnar block is given, and palatal infiltration. The crustal incision is given from maxillary tuberosity to the point just anterior to anterior border of sinus along vertical releasing incisions. Full mucosal periostal flap is raised and lateral wall of maxilla is exposed, and osteotomy is performed using 6 or 8 round burr. This is the diagram showing the creation of a window to the lateral approach. Once the window is created, the membrane is exposed, the adherent bone is either removed or rotated medially. The sheathing membrane is elevated using a curette or a periosteal elevator. The bone graft is placed under the membrane in the anterior and inferior direction. The graft should contact the medial wall of the maxillary sinus. The mucoperiosteal flap is repositioned and sutured. After 6 months, the implant is placed.